America, we gotta get back to doing what's expected of us as free citizens in this democracy. That means being tolerant, being respectful, staying informed, and being engaged. I'm former Congressman Joe Walsh. Follow me here and join the millions of Americans who are renewing their social contract with each other. The social contract, it's on us. What in God's name is wrong with us? My God, what has happened to us? Everybody, all of America, sit down right now. Put down your muskets, put down your swords, put down your whatever, put down your weapons, put down your phones. All of America, left and right, everybody, stop doing what you're doing and listen to this. What in God's name has happened to us? Have we gotten to the point where we each have the power to do whatever the hell we want? If we're pissed off about something, if we're pissed off about the health insurance companies, we can just take the law into our own hands and do what we want, and we cheer and we applaud that? Have we gotten to this point where political violence is to be applauded? Sit down, America. This is a dangerous road we're on. Left and right. This is a lecture. This is a lecture I'm going to get off my chest right now. That applies to everybody, right and left, and everybody in between. We got to get off of this road we're on, where we feel so empowered that we can hate the people we disagree with. We can hate the people who we believe have wronged us. And we can commit acts of political violence. We got to get off of this road. My God, America, 2 children right now in Minnesota are going to grow up without a father. And we've got people on the left and people on the right cheering the murderer of their father. What in God's name? What in God's name has happened to us? A 26-year-old punk in cold-blooded murder commits an act of cold-blooded murder and kills a father and a husband who happened to be the CEO of a health insurance company, and the nation applauds. Extremists on the left and extremists on the right applaud. Two children in the state of Minnesota just lost their father. And I mean to tell you that we have people on the left and people on the right celebrating the 26-year-old murderer of their father, applauding what he did, cheering what he did. Plenty of Americans saying, yeah, Joe, it wasn't a good thing, but the health insurance companies suck. But my uncle was denied care. But my aunt had kidney failure and she died because she was denied care. Because these health insurance CEOs, Joe, they're mass murderers. So I get it, right? It wasn't a good thing that this guy was killed. Brian Thompson was killed. But Joe, these health insurance companies, they're evil. And these CEOs are evil. There's no but. There's no but. Listen to yourself, America. There's no but. That's not a compound sentence. what this 26-year-old did is wrong and horrible, and it was an act of cold-blooded, targeted murder. It was an act of political violence. It was an act of terrorism, period. Period. That's the end of the sentence. There's no comma, there's no but. There's no justification for what he did. What in God's name? Listen to yourself. On the left and on the right, listen to yourselves. Elizabeth Warren, and it's, by the way, it's not just Americans out there. It's not just all of us out there. These last couple of days, who've actually been fantasizing about this 26-year-old kid, who've been celebrating what he did. They're selling t-shirts and hats with his image on it. They're calling him Robin Hood. He went and killed a bad guy, CEO of the largest provider in the country. People are praising him. A leftist college professor at Penn, where this killer went to school, a leftist professor tweeted out yesterday and since deleted it that she has never been so proud to be a professor at the University of Pennsylvania. Somehow proud that this killer, this murderer, is a graduate of UPenn. What has? Would you listen to yourself, America? This is okay? This is okay? Because it's the CEO of a health insurance provider, it's okay that he was struck down in cold-blooded murder? It's okay? There's no but. There's no but. There's no justification. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren this morning. This is a United States Senator, Elizabeth Warren, put out a statement. Violence is never the answer, but the American people can only be pushed so far, thereby justifying what this 26-year-old killer did. No, you put a but in there. Hey, Joe, murder's never good, but. Hey, Joe, it wasn't a good thing what he did, but. Hey, Joe, I don't justify what he did, but. You put a but in there, you're justifying what he did. You put a but in that sentence, you are supporting what he did. You're supporting political violence. You're supporting terrorism. That's not how we do it here. That's not what we do in America. When we don't like something, when we don't like something the government did, when we don't like how the health insurance companies operate, that's not what we do. We don't kill their CEOs. We don't assassinate presidents, candidates running for president. We don't like Donald Trump, so we're going to take him out. That's not what we do. That's not how we handle things. And this is completely both sides. This is left and right. The left, the far left, they've got their terrorists that they like and support. Like so many leftists have justified what Hamas did on October 7th. There's no justification for the rape and the killing and the terrorizing and the butchering of 1,500 Israelis. There's no justification of that. There's no October 7th was bad, Joe, but. Both sides do this. But let's just be clear. When you give any support to what this 26-year-old killer did, you are supporting terrorism. He is a terrorist. And if you don't know the formal definition, terrorism, look it up, right? The unlawful targeting, the unlawful use of force and violence against governments or civilians to achieve your own political or social objectives. Targeting people to achieve your own political or social objectives. That is terrorism. This 26-year-old punk, this 26-year-old killer, because he was pissed off about how the health insurance industry operates, he targeted the CEO of the largest provider. He targeted him and methodically gunned him down on a street. It was not only murder, it was an act of terror. And if you're applauding him, if you're fanboying him, if you're privately cheering what he did, you're supporting terrorism. You are aiding and abetting a terrorist. What in God's name is wrong with us, left and right? What the fuck has happened to us? This isn't, and by the way, let's be really, really clear. Both sides, amen? Give me an amen, MAGA. Both sides do this. Both sides, they each got, both extremes, they each got their own pet causes. They each then support their own terrorists, their own bad people who try to advance their causes. Here was somebody going after the health insurance industry, and people on the far left and the far right applauded. Because again, what? Health insurance companies are evil. They had it coming. There's some comedian named Bill Burr who called this CEO and all these CEOs, he said, mass murderers. Bill Burr's the guy named. He's a comedian. So Brian Thompson, the CEO who was gunned down, who will no longer see his kids grow up, right? He's just like Genghis Khan. He's like Hitler. He's like Stalin. He's a mass murderer. There's no justification for political violence. MAGA, I thought that's what we screamed over the summer when somebody tried to take Donald Trump out. There's no but. I don't care how much what was he, a 21-year-old kid in Pennsylvania? I don't give a damn how pissed off he was at Donald Trump. Whatever. I don't give a damn about how wronged he felt he'd been by Donald Trump. Nothing justifies somebody trying to assassinate a candidate for president in this country. There's no justification for that. There's no justification for what this 26-year-old punk killer did on that New York street. I mean, give me an amen. So many people on the right applaud Putin for invading Ukraine. Vladimir Putin is a terrorist. He is a mass murderer. There's no justification. I don't give a damn if Putin's pissed off that Ukraine might join NATO. I don't give a damn if Putin's pissed off that Ukraine wants to be part of the alliance of freedom-loving countries. I don't give a damn about any of that. Putin had no right invading a sovereign nation. There's no but. There's no but there. There's no justification for any right-wing or left-wing act of terror. And I'm sorry, MAGA, if this hits too close to home. There's zero justification for what the criminals did on January 6th. I don't care how pissed off you are about an election. I don't care if you think an election was stolen. You have no right storming the United States Capitol, rioting in the United States Capitol, and trying to overthrow an American election, thereby injuring cops, killing cops, getting one of your own killed. January 6th was an act of domestic terrorism. There's zero justification for it. Yet MAGA, you all applauded that. You all cheered that. You understood that. You told me, but Joe, they were pissed off because the election was stolen. There's no but. There's no but. You have no right to commit violence, political violence, because you believe you were wronged. That's not how we do it in America. You have no right to take someone's life. You have no right to injure police officers because you believe an election was stolen. There's no but. January 6th was wrong. It was an act of terror. What? Because big oil companies are bad? You don't like fossil fuels? So now we're going to take, they're destroying the environment, right? They're killing the climate, all these fossil fuel industries. So what? So next you're going to target the CEO, some big oil CEO. Is that what you're going to do? And you're going to target and kill the CEO of an oil company. And we'll say it was bad, Joe, but it was bad, Joe, but those oil companies, man, they're ruining the climate. They're ruining the environment. There's no but. Murder is wrong. Stop. Murder is wrong. Elizabeth Warren, she's not the only one. Elizabeth Warren, far left senator, this morning, violence is never the answer, but people can only be pushed so far. What an irresponsible thing to say. There's no but, there's no justification. I remember a few years ago, right, when Trump was, CNN's the enemy of the people. CNN's the enemy of the people. And then a right-wing terrorist targeted employees of CNN and tried to kill employees of CNN. There was no but, there's no justification for that. MAGA, that was right-wing terrorism. That's wrong. It doesn't matter how unfair or biased you think CNN is, people at CNN are, how anti-Trump you think CNN is. You have no right to try to target and commit an act of violence against someone who works at CNN. That's not how we do things in America. That's an act of terrorism. There's no but. Right-wing terror, left-wing terror. We don't do terrorism in America. Right? TikTok, right? But Joe, man, CNN, man, they go after Trump every day. Look, it's bad that, this guy tried to kill people at CNN, but Joe, CNN's bad. No, there's no but. No, stop. All of you people right now cheering this 26-year-old killer, you're no different than MAGA. Cheering the violence that was committed on January 6th. All of you cheering this 26-year-old killer, you are no different than MAGA cheering acts of violence against members of the media. You're no different. You're no different. Terrorism is wrong. Political violence is always wrong. Remember, we said that. We said that no matter where we stood politically this past summer. We said that when someone tried to assassinate Donald Trump. We all said that. I said that. I hoped we all meant it. There is never, ever, ever any justification for political violence. Political violence is always wrong. And we should all believe that. It's always wrong. That's not how we do things here. But man, we're on this road. We're on this road where it is now almost acceptable. It is now quietly and publicly applauded. Where does it end? Where does it end? The American people are obese, right? All of the processed foods we're eating. So now next, we're going to target the CEO of one of our food companies because they're leading to the obesity of America? Cool. There is still institutional racism in this country. I didn't always think that. I didn't always know that. I didn't always believe that. I woke up. I listened. We still got a real problem with racism in this country. But does that mean a black person in America has a right to commit violence against a white person in America because there's still institutional racism in America? No, right? That's not how we do things. Do you know in the age of Trump, election workers all over the country, every single election cycle have put up with death threats? Just normal, simple Americans, white, black, and brown, amen. White, black, and brown, public servants volunteering to work at election places, at polling places all over the country. They have endured death threats repeatedly because so many of Trump's supporters believe our election system is rigged. That's political terrorism. That's not right, right? That's wrong. You think our elections process has problems? You think the elections are rigged? Is that how you fix it? We threaten the lives of regular Americans who are election workers? There's no but. Joe, our elections are messed up, man. A lot of fraud. I get it, right? It's bad to threaten an election worker, but Joe, man, our elections process sucks. There's no but. There's no justification for political violence. And this is just so wrong. I'm sorry. This is just me venting. I'm not engaging a lot. This is just so wrong. I want us each to take a look inside. I want us each to stop this. I want us all to get off of this road, where this road we're on, this dangerous road where we disagree with each other on issues, and we disagree and we disagree. And then we begin to hate the people we disagree with. We begin to hate the people we disagree with. And then we begin to hate more the people we disagree with. And then we get to a point where the people we disagree with are our enemy. They're our enemy, the people we disagree with. And then from that point, it's a real short skip from you're my enemy to I'm going to commit an act of violence against you. That's what this 26-year-old killer did. This 26-year-old killer got on that road. And he decided, for whatever reason, I hate the health insurance companies. And then he decided, for whatever reason, they are my enemy. And then he decided, for whatever sick reason, I then am going to commit an act of violence against the CEO of one of the largest provider in the country. Can everybody just understand this is a bad road to be on? Left and right. Left and right. Man, they've denied coverage to millions. Millions have died because of them, right? So it's okay what he did. I know it's just social media, but you wouldn't believe this shit that I've heard and you've heard on social media. I got no problem with what he did, I've heard. That's only one life. These companies have killed hundreds of thousands. So it's fine what he did. Identical to I don't give a damn if people die on January 6th. The election was stolen. I don't care if cops die. I don't care. I don't care if Mike Pence is hung or Nancy Pelosi's hung. I don't care. That election was rigged. Anything to justify political violence. This isn't how we do it in America. Ballots, not bullets. Protests, not acts of political violence. You don't like the way we do healthcare in America? You don't like the way these health insurance companies do business? We don't take the law into our own hands in America and through force and violence change the way they do things. We don't kill people in the industry. What we do in America is we try to change laws. We try to change regulations. We try to, through our representatives, through the people we vote and elect, enact change. We march on the streets. We protest. We don't engage in political violence. A country that engages in political violence is a country that will not stand. A country that okays political violence, that is indifferent toward political violence, that looks the other way when acts of political violence happen. A country that applauds political violence is a country that will not stay together. Will not stay together. Cannot stay together. I just implore everybody left and right. Stop. Stop. My God. Stop the sentence. Murder's wrong, period. What this 26-year-old did is wrong, period. You want to fix the problems that he thought existed, then fix those problems the way we fix those problems in America. Peacefully, legally, legislatively, and judicially. Not through violence. We don't try to overthrow elections. We don't try to shut down media networks that we don't like. We got to stop this. Social media heightens this. This kid, for some reason, felt like he had more power. I think because of social media. Get into that another day. I'll end where I began. Right and left. Listen to me. 2 children in Minnesota no longer have a father. They're going to grow up without a father. And we've got way too many Americans cheering for, rationalizing what the killer of their father did. This is a bad, ugly, dangerous place to be. It's a place where the far right is, MAGA is, and it's a place where the far left is. It's a place I want to believe most Americans are. Most Americans are not. Most Americans better not be in this place. But the stuff I'm hearing, the shit I'm hearing is more than just on the far left and the far right. I mean, you have, again, she ain't the only one. You have an elected United States senator who said but, who sent a signal. Violence is never the answer, but people can only be pushed so far by these insurance providers. Man, you get a United States senator who says something like that, she ain't the only one. Forget about it. Stop! Get off of this road of hate. Get off of this road where you hate the people you disagree with, where you think they're your enemy, where you think you are entitled and empowered to commit an act of violence against that with which you disagree. You're pissed off about an election. You're pissed off that you didn't get coverage so you can commit violence. Get off of that road. The country dies if we're on that road. Stop it. Joe Walsh, whiteflag@gmail.com. That's my email. Stop with the hate. Stop with the hate. Stop with the political violence. Stop it. Condemn it. I mean, unequivocally condemn it. What he did was wrong, period. Every American should stop that. You want to start another sentence? Fine. You want to start another debate, another discussion about healthcare in the country? Fine. Do it. Do it. But not in that sentence. What this 26-year-old killer did was wrong, period. Joe Walsh, whiteflag@gmail.com. All one word. Joe Walsh, whiteflag@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, everybody. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been The Social Contract with Joe Walsh.